Hi, everybody. My name is Rob. I'm here to present to you on behalf of FP Markets how to use Autochartist more effectively in identifying trade setups that will work best for your trading style. Rhonda, can you just confirm, please, that you can see my screen? There we go. Sorry about that. I just had a little bit of problems switching to my screen. I hope you can see my screen now. So the Autochartist plugin for MetaTrader 4 is what we're going to be looking at today. And if you don't have the plugin, you can download it from the FP Markets website, or you can visit our page here, autochartist.com/MetaTrader-plugin. You simply download the plugin by pressing the download button here. There's some videos that you might also be interested in watching. You download the plugin, and then you go next to install the plugin on your MetaTrader 4. Once you've installed the plugin, you arrive on MetaTrader. You need to come to the Expert Advisors area, not the indicators, the Expert Advisors tab, and under there you will find the Autochartist plugin. So we drag that plugin onto the page, and we go okay, and we will end up with a small window here, which is the Autochartist market scanner. Now you'll see straight away here that what we've got is an opportunity on this instrument. It's the USD 100 with the support and the resistance lines and a target region. Now, what you'll also notice is that in this little market scanner, we're looking at page 1 of 21 pages. So there's a lot of pages here, a lot of results that we've produced for you. And why are there so many results? Well, what this scanner does is it looks at the instruments that you have in your market watch list in this top corner here. And what we do is we scan for all those instruments. We try and identify every opportunity for all of those instruments. And what that means is that right now I have all these instruments available to me that Autochartist is scanning for me. If I want to reduce the number of pages here, I need to go in here and hide a lot of these. I can hide all, I can hide some, I can select which instruments I'm particularly interested in. And as a result, Autochartist will update this to only the instruments that we're interested in looking at. So the way this works is you simply click on a instrument that you would be interested in. So sorry, it's just updating here. It's requesting data. So it'll take a little while to update it. So there's obviously some new results that have come through. And I can press on this view button here, and I will get a new result. What this means is that I am, sorry, let me just make this a little bit smaller so that we can see the result. So there is the result. So what this means is that if I'm using the Autochartist scanner, I don't need to open up all those windows, all those different chart windows in MT4. I can simply use the market scanner to scan all those instruments I'm interested in and see all the results from one screen. So what I'd like to show you is another way of filtering. So once we filtered which instruments we're interested in, we need to look at which types of patterns we're going to be interested in. And the first pattern that I'm going to look at is chart patterns, completed patterns. So I'm going to untick these key levels, approaches, and breakouts, and the big movements. And I'm going to press save. And that's going to update the results for all the instruments in my watch list, but only for completed chart patterns. What this means is that now I can see these. If you have a look at these little icons here, they're colored. So there's a dark black line and a red arrow. What this means is that it's a completed pattern. Let's have a look at one or more of these patterns. So I can see some patterns have just arrived. So I'm just going to press on this one over here. And what we've got is we're presented with the support and resistance lines, excuse me, and you can see that the pattern has broken through this resistance level up here and is looking to head in another direction. I might be interested in another pattern on GBP ORD. I always like the wedges and the flags. So here we have another pattern where you can see this is it has been moving in a strong upward direction. It looks like it's broken out of this strong upward pattern and is now looking to move down towards this region. Let's have a look at another one. This is a triangle pattern. There's been a lot of action on the USD over the last month, and you can see that in that strong red line, those number of downward trends there. What we're seeing here is that it's actually broken through the resistance level at the top here, and we think that it's actually going to move back towards this target region here. So that's for those are breakout patterns, and what it's really saying is that the price momentum has broken through a support and resistance level and is looking at a new level, finding a new level. And you can see on this chart quite clearly that there is a level here. You can see in this whole area here that there's been a lot of consolidation at this level, and it looks like this price is going to come back up and find this level again. Now, I personally am not a trend trader. I'm a mean reversionist or a swing trader. And what that means is that I'm more interested in patterns that are what we call emerging patterns. These are patterns that are in the process of forming. So it's where we've identified a support and resistance line. And I'm just going to choose one of these here. Actually wanted to choose another one, but we'll see what this one looks like. Let me just make this bigger so that we can have a look at it. Sorry. Okay, so what you can see here is that this price has been moving up and down between these support and resistance lines. You could even extend this support level out down here and this resistance up towards up here. And you can see it's been oscillating, moving between these support and resistance lines for some time. What we're seeing now is that it's moved off this resistance level and is moving towards this support level. So I like these kinds of trades because it means I can take advantage of them right now. I can take a short position, and I can take that short position, and I know where to set my stop loss. It's around the word next there. That's where I believe that it's going to bounce off this support level. The alternative way of trading this, it's a very interesting way of trading this, is that if I was a trend trader and I saw this is moving down, but I want to take advantage of it if it breaks through this level at this word here. So that's at about 7,265 Bitcoin USD. What I can do there is I can use a sell stop, which is a pending order. And what that means is that I will only take the short position once it moves past my level in my pending order for a short position. So it will take advantage of further movements down. The alternative is that I can actually also implement another pending order that's called a buy limit, which means I set the buy limit slightly before the support level. And I basically say, I believe that what's going to happen is that once it goes through this level, it's actually going to bounce off that level and up again towards this resistance level. So that's using a buy limit to take advantage of this emerging pattern. So that gives you an idea of the two chart pattern types, the breakout patterns and the emerging patterns. I'm now going to show you a little bit about Fibonacci pattern. I have to confess that I don't really know much about them other than the ratios, the golden ratios, but those people who trade them find them very, very reliable, and Autochartist provides them. So let's have a look at what these look like. Let me see, I had one earlier, but I think that everything's been updated, so we'll just have a look at this one. So what you'll see on the Fibonacci patterns is that we present the result over here. It's a downward trend from here, But what is interesting to note is these Fibonacci levels that are identified, and I always find it quite amazing that this equation or this ratio is able to identify these levels. You can see that that level is over here where there was a point of consolidation. This one over here, which is also at a point that has been hit a number of times or reached a number of times in the past, and this one as well being the top level of all of these results here. So Fibonacci patterns are available on Autochartist. I'm afraid I'm not very familiar about how to trade them, but I encourage you to have a look at them, and maybe you want to look at those ratios to see where appropriate levels are in your trading. Now, the next thing, kind of analysis type that we have is key level breakouts. Now, we'll go through our performance results towards the end of this presentation, but key levels, both the breakouts and approaches, have very high success rates, and we'll talk about what that means a little bit later. So these are patterns that I really, really enjoy. So I'm just going to have a look at, was waiting for gold USD. It seems to have updated as well. So we're just going to have to have a look at one of these here. Yes, I looked at this one earlier. And you can see when I was preparing for this presentation, in fact, it was the price point was down here, and it still had an opportunity to break through this level. So it was actually an emerging pattern a little bit earlier, and now it's broken through this level. Not particularly strongly, it has to be said, not a very strong breakout, but it is expected to reach this region here. And you can see that the pattern has touched this resistance level a number of times in the past, all along here, over here. So a very key level that you can see in the market, and the view here is that it's broken through this level, and we can expect it to come up to a new level here. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do we get this level? How do we define this target region? And this is based on chart pattern theory. It has to do with the momentum of the price and various other things that Autochartist has programmed into its pattern recognition. Let's have a look at another one of these results here. My home currency, the South African rand against the US dollar. So you can see here we've identified, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller so we can see the historical levels. So this was identified as a historical level where the price had touched this for some time, and there is a strong expectation that this price will move down. In fact, analysts and commentators are talking about this the 1770 level, that they're expecting a strong price movement down towards this area. So those are the key levels. Again, you're looking at somebody who is, or a trader that is looking at trends. So they want to follow the trend and follow strong trends. The alternative and one of the patterns that we produce that is incredibly reliable, it's our most reliable pattern, and I have to put disclaimers there because of course, past performance is no indicator of future performance or can't be relied upon for future performance. So we'll just have a look at these approaches, and you'll understand why these are so attractive for us. I had a GBP NZD. There we go. Okay, I think this one we've missed it. No, there we go. So what we've got here is a resistance level again, and the thing with the approaches is that we've seen the price move away from this level in the past, but continually return towards it. So what we're seeing here is an opportunity to take advantage of the price returning back to this key level that we've identified. And it very often gets very close to this level. We'll look at the historical performance in a minute. So this trade here is again one of those emerging trades where you can use pending orders. So if you feel like you've identified it's a bit too late, you might want to, when it gets up to this resistance level here, you might want to take a short position because you're expecting it to retreat again from that level. Or right now there's an opportunity obviously to take a long position in the expectation that the price will reach this level again. So these are usually very short-term trades. I have to emphasize that because we tend to identify these only when they come reasonably close back to this this key level. So it's something that you have to watch the market for very carefully, and the amount of profit that you're going to make tends to be small, again, because we tend to identify them close to those key levels. So you do need to watch these trades carefully. Okay, I'm going to take you through to our next next interesting trading types or analysis types. These are the big movements and the consecutive candles. So with the big movements, let's have a look at a big movement here. These are, let's see, it's the consecutive candles one. Let me have a look at this one. Okay, so let me make this a bit bigger. Okay, so what you can see here is that the price originally moved down significantly, and now we've identified that it's moved up significantly. Now, one of the questions is, what exactly is significantly? Significantly is we use a statistical term which measures it as the 98th percentile. And what this means is that 98% of the movements historically for this time period have been smaller than this movement. In other words, it's an outlier in terms of the amount of movement that has happened. So usually when there is a significant amount of movement like this, a trader like myself, where I believe in mean reversionist, I would expect it to come down again, having seen this go up significantly. However, like all things in trading, one has to be aware of the context that you're looking at. So it's always good to have a look at the longer term trend. And you can see here that there's been a lot of consolidation around this price level. So you need to make a careful decision as to whether you think it's going to come back down to this level or go and test these higher levels over here. I'm going to also take you to the consecutive candles, also a statistical type of analysis, where again we're looking at the 98th percentile. Okay, this is not a particularly good one. Let me just see if I can find a better one. Nope. Okay, so I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting it to be there, and I'd done some preparation just before we started the call, but you saw all the patterns updated, and that can happen. You know, we're updating the patterns consistently, and over the hour mark, we obviously get updates to the hourly candles, which is what I'm looking at here. Now, this one is, again, it's a consecutive candles. I think that these are poor results, to be honest with you. They're not a good demonstration of what we do, but typically it would be a trend like this one over here, where you've got a number of consecutive candles, typically 6 or 7 candles in a single direction, that kind of show a strong trend in an upward or downward direction. I'm going to now look at some of the other services that we provide that will help you in filtering your content or the opportunities that you want to look at, and that is looking at our historical performance results. So if you have a look at this little world or internet icon over here, if you click on it, you'll get a link, a tiny URL. If you copy that link and you paste it into your browser, you will be presented with this page here. And what we do at Autochartist is we try and provide traders with some context as to the quality of the results that we're experiencing for a period of time. So we take quite a long period of time. It's a rolling 6-month period, and we update the results on a weekly basis. As you can see here, we've kind of split the FP markets result set into 2 sets. I don't know why we called it broker, but the broker results here are the results for the CFDs, the indexes, etc. that FP markets provides, and the Forex results are the results that are on the Forex instruments. So if you're particularly interested in trading the CFDs, then you'd be looking at these performance results up here. If you're looking at Forex, then you'd be looking at these results here. Now, these are results for patterns that have a defined target region. So you'll remember that with chart patterns, we were looking at that gray box on the MT4. If the price reached that gray box, we would count that as a success. Similarly, with the key level breakouts, we have a gray box, and then the key level approaches, remember, those are the trades where it's returning back to that price level. So we know where it's going to, and that is that price level, and so we can measure whether it's achieved that price level or not. Okay, let's have a look at some of these. First of all, just in summary, you can see that the chart patterns tend to be slightly less successful as a whole than the two horizontal pattern types. So let's have a look at these Forex results over here. And you can see that what we've done is we've identified how many patterns we've got and how many were correct, the overall percentage. But the real use case for this is to try and identify which patterns would be of most interest to you. And consistently, from Autochartist perspective, we see a high level of success in the head and shoulders and reverse head and shoulders. So looking out for these pattern types in your market scanner will help you greatly to take advantage of the historical performance. Remember always that we have to have that disclaimer that says that past performance is no indicator of future performance. So this can show you that actually if you're looking for results greater than 70%, there's certain instruments that are showing greater success for us than other instruments. So this helps you hone what you want to be looking at, what instruments you might want to be trading. We can have a look at the key levels here. They're all very high level, very good results, except there's one little blemish there, the little red mark, and that's very interesting. We see that actually the end of day results, all right, at key levels tend to be less successful than the other results. So if you're an end of day trader, you may not want to be using these key levels. So this is really to help you guide you in your selection of the instruments. I see that somebody has asked if Autochartist does shares, and of course we do if they're offered by your broker, which is FP Markets in this case, and there are a number of instruments that are offered. I'm trying to see, these are all indexes. I'm not entirely sure where to find let me try the chart patterns. Okay, so these are largely indexes that have been put under this section here, but the CFDs that are offered by FP Markets, and there are a number of them. I thought I saw them at the bottom here. So here are the CFDs. Those CFDs will also be covered by Autochartist. So there will be a result set for those for those instruments. Again, if you filter your watch list to just those instruments, that will update the Autochartist results set here. So that really outlines exactly what we can do. We can, from an Autochartist perspective, this little tool, this market scanner, will look at the instruments that you're interested in. You can have a look at the results and the particular analysis types and use those based on your type of trading, whether you're a trend follower or a mean reversionist, a swing trader like myself. That will help you in identifying those opportunities. Remember always, when having a look at these opportunities, like this very last result that I had a look at, one has to look at it in the context of what's going on in that instrument and apply other analyses, whether it's using your moving averages, your RSIs, whatever your trading style, whatever you like in your trading style, you apply those to the trading, and Autochartist is there to help you filter through and identify the real opportunities for your trading style. That's all I had to present today. I don't know if anybody has any questions that I can help you with. I'm waiting for Rhonda or Andrea to let me know, and I'll come back to you. Okay, it doesn't seem like there are any other questions. So that's all from me. Oh, hang on a second. I think we got one. Okay, there we go. No more questions. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that question. Sorry, I was late. Fibonacci. Oh, somebody wants to know more about Fibonacci. We did cover the Fibonacci. I'll just go back to it very quickly, just to show you how that is dealt with. We are able to filter for Fibonacci patterns by using this filter button over here. We untick these and we choose the Fibonacci patterns. Autochartist identifies, I think, about 8 different Fibonacci patterns, butterflies, Gartleys, ABCs, etc. And here you can see the results. So some people tend to trade these completed patterns. These are the traditional Fibonacci patterns using the Fibonacci levels. And as I said in my earlier presentation, I'm not that familiar with the trading of Fibonacci patterns, so you're going to have to excuse my lack of knowledge, but we certainly do provide the identification of both the Fibonacci levels, which you can see. Unfortunately, on my screen, I've colored them in blue as well, but you can see the Fibonacci levels next to the instruments. So I hope you can have a look at that, play around with that. I think we've got videos on the Fibonacci levels. Here's some more on the Fibonacci levels. So please do have a look at the Fibonacci results and see if those can help you in your trading. Okay, that's all. Thanks very much, everybody. I hope you keep safe in the lockdown period, you and your families, and enjoy the trading. Lots of volatility to take advantage of.